Tonight,
It's a panic.
a daytime shelter space scrapped.
There was going to be a place for our homeless and our food insecure to find indoor hot meals every day, 7 days a week.
The significant gap in services for Guelph's most vulnerable.
It's about urgency, and it's about trying to find a path forward as quickly as we can.
Also,
It's really lost its luster.
seeking new life
You stop at the light now and you look, you go, what's the point of this?
for an old landmark.
They were built really to unite Preston, Galt, and Hespeler.
A Cambridge councillor's push to revitalize the former Nob Hill Farms fountain. And going for gold
It feels amazing to just come out on top with the win and a strong, solid finish.
at the Ontario Curling Championships.
It's been a resounding success.
The highlights on and off the ice in Elmira.
Good evening, everyone. Thanks for joining us. A new daytime drop-in space for people experiencing homelessness in Guelph did not open today as planned. The city previously announced it had approved a partnership between two local shelters to open the space, but construction delays and a failure to reach a formal agreement means the daytime shelter program has been scrapped, at least for now. CTV's Spencer Turcotte is back from Guelph and joins us live. Spencer, what are advocates and those involved in this process saying?
Well, essentially everyone is stunned. There are efforts underway to figure out how the city can still open a daytime drop-in space, but that process is now far behind and at a critical time when winter temperatures make for some dangerous conditions.
Stepping Stone helps people experiencing homelessness in Guelph and the challenges that come with it. Construction here has been underway with the goal of having it ready by today to operate as a daytime shelter.
Stepping Stones was to work with the Royal City Mission, and they were to receive a certain amount of funding each so that there was going to be a place for our homeless and our food insecure to find indoor hot meals every day, 7 days a week.
As you can see, that construction isn't finished. Royal City Mission was to step in and operate the daytime shelter until April, when construction was expected to wrap up. But after council approved $850,000 to support the daytime drop-in services, Royal City Mission's executive director said in an online post they have not received the funding required to operate 7 days a week and have had to reduce their schedule. In their joint proposal with Stepping Stone, the estimated cost to operate such a program was $1.7 million. Meanwhile, Stepping Stone said between construction delays and not being able to finalize a formal agreement, the request for proposal of the 7-day-a-week daytime program was canceled. Concerning for advocates because Royal City Mission is only open certain days of the week.
It's a panic. We've lost over half the meals and additional hours on the days they're open. It'll be 5 hours less a week. And a person came up and said, where am I going to eat? You know, and they were so embarrassed that they were crying in front of us.
Mark Berardini with the Guelph Wellington Coalition for Justice is gathering signatures for a petition to bring to council, calling for immediate action in support of more daytime shelter services.
This can't be happening in December and January.
Guelph Mayor Cam Guthrie echoes the concern that the new space would not be opening.
Myself and council we were quite shocked on Thursday because there was already a public announcement just before Christmas that this service was going to start today, January the 12th.
He says council is still laser focused on bringing more daytime options for Guelph's homeless population.
There's been a narrative within the community that we're cutting, and that's actually not accurate. We wanted to step into this space. We wanted to help, and that's why $850,000 in new funding for 2026 was going to go into this area.
Adding there will be an emergency meeting tomorrow to try and salvage this in some way.
I can only speak for myself, but it's about urgency and it's about trying to find a path forward as quickly as we can.
As for that emergency meeting tomorrow, it will be behind closed doors due to legalities and contractual matters, so any developments that may come from it will have to come from the city of Guelph. Leanne.
CTV's Spencer Turcotte with our top story tonight. Spencer, thank you. Cloudy and calm conditions in Waterloo region to start the week. Let's head over to CTV's Karis Mapp, who joins us live in studio tonight with the weather forecast. Great to see you.
Great to see you, Lan. And not to get into the puns too early in the show, but you know that saying, you don't know what you got till it's gone.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, I feel like I'm going to be a little bit more appreciative when I leave my house in the morning and see the sunshine, not to be dramatic or anything like that. But it's true, when you don't notice that the sun's not around for too long, it kind of hits you. In the 5, I jokingly said, this is the time for the people who might have some sun allergies or anything like that. This is your time to shine. Meanwhile, one of our own colleagues kind of sheepishly popped her head up and said, that's me. So this is your moment. Get outside, enjoy that cloud coverage. This is the time. And looking at our satellite radar, that's what we're seeing. Most of the day, we've seen some light snow, light rain, nothing too crazy, but light cloud coverage for the most part. And that's pretty much what we're going to see for most of the day into the night as well. That's very standard for this time of year, that January, February time. Focusing on the now, though. So current temperature currently sitting at -2 degrees. Nothing too crazy. Winds are moderate. Barometric pressure is 101, which is right on par with atmospheric pressure, the standard of it. So everything is kind of chill, but I'm not going to say, you know, the calm before the storm, because there might be some active precipitation making its way through our region. Leanne, I'll have more on that later in the show.
Okay, Karis, thanks very much. Appreciate it. We'll talk soon. Waterloo Regional Police are asking for the public's help in their search for a suspect in a double stabbing. They've released these photos of a man leaving a Cambridge hotel last week. It happened January 6th, just before 9:30 p.m. at a hotel in the area of Hespeler and Pine Bush Roads. Police say the suspect assaulted 2 women with an edged weapon before leaving the scene. The victims were taken to hospital with non-life-threatening injuries. Anyone who recognizes the man in the photos is asked to contact regional police. Sarnia police have charged a 21-year-old man with attempted murder. The charges are in connection with a weekend incident where a man was run over. And today, police released video of that incident. CTV's Jerry Dewan reports.
Sarnia police obtained video which they blurred showing a vehicle backing onto a grass median and hitting a 40-year-old man the driver had been arguing with.
We can see that after the victim is struck and run over, the vehicle stops and the accused then drives forward again over the victim and flees the area.
Sarnia police say the incident is part of an ongoing dispute between residents of this townhouse complex on Afton Drive just south of London Road. Jameson says the way the car moves indicates the driver's intent to strike the victim as he circled around the vehicle.
He went behind the vehicle and up on the lawn above the curb of that area as a verbal argument continued, at which point the vehicle can be seen moving and accelerating quickly for the amount of distance that was there with the apparent intent of striking the victim.
Police say just after midnight on Saturday, the same vehicle drove into the Co-op townhouse complex and struck an e-bike.
The same accused got out of their vehicle and approached the entrance with a pipe in his hand, being used as an apparent weapon. The victim in the case did not exit his residence and agreed to any type of confrontation that was being proposed.
21-year-old Hayden Leach Forte has since been arrested and faces a number of charges, including 1 count of attempted murder. Leach Forte has had a bail hearing and remains in custody.
In no instances is this type of retribution or this type of action against another person warranted.
The victim's injuries were described as serious but not life-threatening. In Sarnia, Jerry Dewan, CTV News.
4 years to the day she was last seen alive, Ontario Provincial Police are appealing for information in the abduction of Elnaz Hajtamiri. Hajtamiri was 37 years old when 3 suspects allegedly abducted her from a home in Wasaga Beach. Police believe Hajtamiri was killed, but her body has never been recovered. Investigators have identified ties to the GTA, Timmins, Quebec, and Dubai. They're asking for help from the public in hopes of locating Hajtamiri's remains and advancing the case. Her ex-boyfriend, 38-year-old Mohammed Lilo, will stand trial for first-degree murder this spring. Several others have also been arrested in her disappearance. He's accused of laundering drug money for the criminal organization connected to international fugitive Ryan Wedding. Today, a Canadian man took the stand at his own bail hearing. At issue, a money trail of millions of dollars, including cryptocurrency. CTV's John Woodward reports.
An Audemars Royal Oak watch like this one, worth upwards of $55,000, and a vacation booked at this hotel in the Bahamas for some $1,500 a night. That was the picture of the lifestyle that emerged during the cross-examination of 37-year-old Roland Sokolovsky, who said he made his money first as a professional poker player, then trading cryptocurrency and jewels. But U.S. authorities say he's the money man behind the sprawling drug trafficking organization connected to Ryan Wedding. The former Olympian turned fugitive, among the most wanted by the FBI, several Canadians arrested late last year. Sokolovsky describing himself as just a moderately successful jeweler, reporting income of $0 in 2024 and only about $100,000 in his company. The Crown disputing that, as U.S. authorities say they tracked almost $30 million in cryptocurrency transactions to and from Sokolovsky's account and tying him to the purchase of this $11 million CLK GTR Roadster. The Crown lawyer told him, "Your numbers don't make sense." "Respectfully, I'd have to disagree," he replied. The lawyer also asked why he didn't declare his cryptocurrency dealings as income. "None of this you declared to the Canadian government." He replied, "I thought it was the same as gambling, not subject to Canadian taxes." Some of the jewels allegedly used as payment for a hitman, though his lawyer claimed he's not a flight risk and should be released until an extradition hearing.
And that was CTV's John Woodward reporting. A growing number of Canadians, 4 out of 5, say they've been scammed either online or by phone, adding to the widespread belief that crime is up across the country. But does the perception of increased criminal activity match the actual data? CTV's Adrian Gabriel digs into the stats.
From brazen smash and grab jewelry store robberies across the Greater Toronto Area to jarring shootings linked to South Asian organized crime in Surrey, BC, video of violent acts across the country are in part stoking fears and shaking the confidence of Canadians.
Exceedingly alarming videos of people breaking into jewelry stores with sledgehammers and liquor store grabs, etc. That fuels the fear in people. But the reality is, it's not as bad as they think.
These new numbers from Angus Reid are providing a fresh snapshot of public perceptions, with a growing number of people suggesting that crime has been increasing in their communities. Multiple major crime categories are down in some of Canada's largest cities. In Ottawa, both homicides and shootings have decreased year over year. 2025 marked the fewest homicides in Calgary in the last decade. Assaults and robberies were down in Vancouver last year when compared to 2024.
Perception versus reality are often two different things, but what's really important here is that people don't feel safe.
And what the latest data shows is that people feel they're at a higher risk of being on the receiving end of a violent crime. Those public feelings may have been formed over time, regardless of what year-end data actually shows. In 2022, auto thefts were at record highs. Home invasions linked to stolen cars led to one Toronto cop suggesting that residents leave their keys at their front door to avoid confrontations with intruders, further fanning the flames of fear.
Much of that based on a very high-profile coverage of some very dynamic and exceedingly alarming videos.
Another concern raised publicly, repeat violent offenders. Last year, the federal government introduced legislation to tighten bail reforms. That bill is still making its way through Parliament. Adrian Gabriel, CTV News, Toronto.
A reminder to start your day in the know with our CTV News Kitchener newsletter. Get the best local content from CTV News straight to your inbox. We've got today's top stories, the latest weather forecast, and must-see videos. It is all in one place. You can sign up now, ctvnewskitchener.ca. A quiet evening takes a scary turn. Still ahead on CTV News. A roof collapses at a home in the Barrie area. The concern and why calls like these are rising in recent weeks.
I'm Krista Simpson in Cambridge. Could these once iconic fountains have water flowing through them again? A new push to revitalize this area. We'll have the details just ahead.
Well, we saw cloud coverage for most of the day, but the rain and snow are back on the way. I'll let you know when later in the show.
Download the CTV News app and stay on top of local stories as they unfold.
We go to a dramatic scene unfolding.
Customize your feed and watch live wherever you are. ctvkitchener.ca, your home for news. When you see it happen, send it to CTV News. Text 10400. From your screen to ours. Text 10400.
Looking to bring new life to a Cambridge landmark. For years, the fountains at the corner of Hespeler and Pine Bush Roads have stood dry with no water running through them. But one councillor is hoping to change all of that. CTV's Krista Simpson joins us live from the area tonight with all the details. Krista.
Leanne, Councillor Scott Hamilton would like to see this fountain functioning again. He says this area really is a gateway to Cambridge. It's close to the 401. There are plans for LRT and a GO station here, as well as residential developments. But he says any revitalization project shouldn't involve raising taxes. Standing at the corner of Hespeler and Pine Bush Roads in Cambridge are fountains that haven't had water flowing through them for years.
You can tell if someone's new to Cambridge if they don't know what those three monoliths actually are.
But for those who did witness the structure's operational days, like Jigar Desai,
they used to be a delight. Like every time you come by, you take an exit and you see those fountains going, and it makes your day.
The fountains were created as part of the old Nob Hill Farms store that used to sit at that corner. The grocery terminal shut down in 2000, the site becoming a Home Depot a few years later. The water was briefly turned back on in 2005, but then stopped again. What stands there now gloomy in comparison, says Cambridge historian Paul Langan.
You come off the 401, you're welcome to Cambridge, and we had the fountain. Now it's welcome to Cambridge, Home Depot sign, no fountain. It's really lost its luster.
Ward 7 Councillor Scott Hamilton hopes to change that. He's preparing a motion that, if passed, will ask city staff to look at a potential partnership with Home Depot to get water flowing through the three towers again.
They were built really to unite Preston, Galt, and Hespeler, because it's at that one spot where all of those key areas of the city are supposed to come together as one.
This is not the first effort to try and get the fountains turned back on again. The late councillor Frank Montero tried as well.
He had looked into revitalizing the fountains back in around 2017, 2018. And at that time, there were issues with the piping, the maintenance hadn't been completed properly. I think that there were issues with sediment that were being left in the pipes. And so I think it was quite costly to try and get them moving again.
Hamilton says any path forward has to be cost effective.
The key to this is not to raise anyone's taxes because we're in an affordability crisis, but look at the reserve funds the city has in place to construct awesome pieces of architecture that are exactly like this, and to look at when we could bring those into play in a manner that's feasible.
In a statement, Home Depot Canada tells CTV the company has been in touch with the City of Cambridge and looks forward to continuing discussions regarding the fountains. Hopeful news for those who would like to see some character return to the corner.
If you stop at the light now and you look, you go, what's the point of this? Because it doesn't really have any meaning, just these structures sticking up out of the ground.
It will help the people of Cambridge, it will help the businesses of Cambridge, and overall it will look good.
Hamilton anticipates his motion will go before council in February. After that, there'll be the opportunity for delegates and city staff to weigh in on their thoughts, with their thoughts on a path forward. Leanne.
Okay, Krista, thanks for that. CTV's Krista Simpson joining us live from Cambridge tonight. Feeling the pressure of winter storms, a roof has collapsed in the Barrie area. Clearing all the snow away is not just a job for roads and driveways, but from the roofs of houses. As CTV's Rob Cooper tells us, for one local couple, it came to a breaking point.
The heavy snow and ice was behind this partial roof collapse on Line 9 in Oromondanti last night.
We were able to determine that there was some significant damage that had occurred to the home's roof structure as a result of some significant snow loading.
Fire crews say 2 seniors were found inside the home uninjured. Structural damage so significant, the home has been taped off and the occupants will not be allowed to return home anytime soon. Oromondanti's fire department warning property owners across the region tonight to pay close attention to just how much snow builds up and address it before it gets too heavy.
We probably just don't understand just how quickly that weight can increase. And the more ice we have on there, the less ability we have to lose some of that snow on there because it just kind of grabs onto it.
Roof clearing companies we spoke with today say they've been flooded with requests over recent weeks. They warn it's not just collapses that are the only concern right now.
Once the ice builds up around the perimeters, in the valleys and stuff, as things melt, that water has nowhere to go. And that's when we've been getting a lot of calls from people saying, the walls are leaking, windows are leaking, water coming in pot lights and electrical outlets and stuff. Those are called ice dams.
Those ice dams can be destructive and expensive. People encouraged to keep a close eye on it as we still have plenty more snow and ice expected this winter.
Every ounce of that weight of rain is staying up there. It's not coming off the roof. It's building up,
It adds up quickly.
It does.
So the best advice, according to the experts, is to stay on top of that snow buildup from the start of the season. Keep in mind all that weight adds up and can cause serious damage and in some cases partial roof collapses like the one we saw last night in Oromondanti. Rob Cooper, CTV News, Barrie.
The Ford government says it's on track to deliver on its promise to connect every Ontarian with primary care in the next few years.
Ontario has already attached over 275,000 new patients to a primary care clinician, putting the province on track to meet or exceed our target of connecting 300,000 new people to care in 2025 and every Ontarian to a primary care provider by 2029.
Most of the progress has been from moving people off the Healthcare Connect waitlist. It's a system the Auditor General says is being underutilized. Only 11% of Ontarians without primary care are using it, and few doctors are taking patients off that list. The Minister of Health says there's work being done to change that, but the opposition is not convinced.
I think this is another example of the Minister of Health and this government gaslighting Ontarians, telling them that, look the other way. It's not us, it's you.
If this is actually the solution that Ontario patients have been dreaming about, well, they should act like they have confidence in the process and put some advertising behind it. Actually make sure that the word gets out.
The government says there are just under 2 million Ontarians without access to primary care. A new survey from the Centre for Addiction and Mental Health has found the level of reported harmful drinking behaviours persist in Ontario following the pandemic.
We thought that with time, we would see declines in some of these, in that distress, for example, and harmful drinking. We're still experiencing some of those challenges that first became evident early in the pandemic.
CAMH surveyed more than 3,000 Ontario adults, and 12% reported symptoms of alcohol dependence. That's down slightly from 2020, but well above the 7% reported pre-pandemic. The survey also found reported binge drinking levels remain stable, while the number of adults reporting frequent mental distress has climbed from more than 16% in 2020 to nearly 19% last year. Researchers couldn't determine the reasons, but say the data highlights the need for more investments in mental health and addiction supports. Okay, live look outside this hour. We'll take you back to the Cambridge area as we approach that 6:30 mark. Conditions are calm, clear skies as we head into the evening hours. Hopefully you had a chance to get outside today because we're about to see some precipitation move in a little bit later this week. Karis will break it all down for us coming up in the full forecast. Also ahead, Prime Minister Mark Carney will make his first official trip to China this week with trade talks high on the agenda. And later, trouble brewing for restaurants as consumer habits change with costs mounting everywhere. Why thousands of establishments could close their doors this year. right, Karis is here on this Monday evening with our full weather forecast. It's great to have you here in studio with us. And today, Karis, conditions were calm to start the week. We'll take it because we're into the middle of January. We expect winter weather in full force at this time of year.
Absolutely. During the break, we were saying Mun-yay. I normally do a Friday, but I'll take the Mun-yay weather. Some cloud coverage, not too bad today. Still relatively warm too. It's not too bad. For this time of year, you never know. It's very unpredictable what you're going to get at this time of year, but not too cool and not too rainy or anything. Taking a live look outside. This is at an intersection in Cambridge. As you can see, sun has set. Not too much, none precipitation actually. It's just kind of the calm, beautiful shot outside. That's thanks to our cameraman, Dave Pettit. Thank you for the great shot, Dave. Cars are moving. People are headed home. They're on their way. Nothing too bad to stop them, though. It's just a very cool, kind of calm kind of night. Make your way home and prepare yourself because there is some active weather on the way. But people are enjoying, as you can see still outside, that drive home. Nothing really impeding them. Traffic looks to be moving well. Clouds still, so nothing crazy. Taking a look at our future cast, though, as I mentioned, there is some active weather on the way. Right now, Monday, 6 p.m., we're seeing that what we just saw at Sally, that cloud coverage, light flurries depending on where you are, but nothing crazy at this time of day. As we can see, though, looking 24 hours from now at tomorrow, 6 p.m., that's when some of the heavy snow is going to be making its way into the region. North of us, Orillia, Barrie, Mount Forest also being hit with it. London, Port Stanley, even more south. It's going to be more rain than snow, but just mixed precipitation as a whole. 48 hours from now, as you can see, it's going, who knows what we're going to get. There's going to be periods of snow. There's going to be periods of rain, periods of sleet. So just prepare yourself for everything. But then by Wednesday at 6 p.m., we're again going to see that cloud coverage kind of situation. Let's take a look at some of the temperatures currently right now in Waterloo region, -2. Our expected high was -1 degree, didn't quite make it up there, hit -2 at around 2 today, and have sat there everywhere else. Much of southern Ontario, including Buffalo, ranging between +1 and -2, so not too cool anywhere, not too warm anywhere. Overnight, expected overnight low of -2 degrees, cloudy. There is a 40% chance of some flurries, and there's also a risk of some freezing drizzle. So just keep that in mind when you're waking up tomorrow. And speaking of tomorrow, expected high of 3 degrees, feeling more like -8, a little bit chillier, periods of snow, 50-kilometer winds, so that's what's going to move that weather system in pretty quickly. Our almanac, as I said, expected high -1, didn't quite make it there. This is normal for this time of year, though, normally sitting around -3, overnight low -2, significantly warmer than what we see this time of year, normally getting down to -11, or back in 1981 when we got to -27, so nothing too much to complain about. Sunset just before now at 5:08, so hopefully you're able to get out. And looking at our full 7-day forecast, as I said, periods of snow, periods of rain, everything is coming. One thing I do want to note, though, is on Wednesday evening, I said the normal was -11. Temperatures are going to drop way down to get around there, -13. So if you're going to be outside at night, do it in these next couple of days because it's going to get cold on Wednesday. Lambton, Kent, Essex, same situation. You see that temperature drop on Wednesday evening as well, -12. They're getting a little bit more rain than snow, but everyone can look forward to Thursday because the sun is going to return, just peek out even just a little bit. And finally, in southern Georgian Bay, same situation. Wednesday evening, -15. Heading into the weekend, though, still minus. We're going to see a lot of the minus temperatures. I think the positives are done for now, but enjoy it as it comes. And then to start next weekend, very similar to what we're seeing today, but a little bit cooler, -17. Now let's take a look at our weather watcher photo. So this photo made me laugh. It's a photo from Paul Richards. It was taken in southern Georgian Bay in the Collingwood area. He said, though, the Swan crashed to the wrong party. And there was this whole story that he made up. He said, you know, we've all had that dream/nightmare where we find ourselves as a social gathering, wearing the wrong clothes, not knowing a single person, frantically searching for the nearest exit. And you can see that Swan. He said, how did I end up here? I have personally been in a situation where I've been like, how did I end up here? How do I get out of here?
Where's my block?
Exactly. How did you stray so far? But he honestly looks like he's having kind of a fun time either way. You just got to be the life of the party no matter where you are. So thank you so much, Paul Richards, for that photo.
Yeah, and I love the creativity, Paul, taking that snapshot and making up a whole story behind it. Gotta love it.
Makes it all better than I don't have to do it then.
Karis, thanks so much. Prime Minister Mark Carney is heading to China this week on a mission to rebuild ties with one of the world's most populous nations. Trade and security discussions will be on the table with several sectors like canola, pork and seafood, hoping for relief from punishing tariffs. CTV's Abigail Beeman has more on the high-stakes visit.
Expect progress on so-called irritants, say Canadian government sources, but not an elimination of tariffs. Canada has been hammered by tariffs on canola, pork and seafood, which China levied in response to Canadian duties on Chinese EVs. Government officials bill the trip as important in the long game as Canada tries to diversify trade.
Only less than 5% of our commodities trade goes to China. I think that's mostly about politics rather than substance, but the idea is to try and reestablish a good relationship with China. And
former Prime Minister Jean Chrétien was in Beijing last week. The Prime Minister's parliamentary secretary and Deputy Minister of Foreign Affairs visited last month.
This has been a building block process. The trip in and of itself is an important stepping stone. I'm confident there will be outcomes and deliverables.
Cody Blois will be back for this trip. Carney also bringing 5 ministers and newly Liberal floor crosser Michael Ma.
There's so many challenges with China, and we have to be careful not to become strategically dependent. Pragmatic engagement is fine. Diplomatic amnesia would be a mistake.
Canadian officials concede there will always be areas Canada and China can work together on, and others we cannot. A coalition of human rights groups issued a letter to the Prime Minister ahead of the trip, urging Mark Carney to put human rights at the center of the relationship.
We haven't had a kind of a coordinated strategy in terms of dealing with China on the human rights, on the repression, and on the foreign interference. I think it's about time we express this.
The Prime Minister leaves for Beijing Tuesday. After China, he heads to Qatar for a bilateral visit focused on trade, followed by the World Economic Forum in Davos, Switzerland. Abigail Beeman, CTV News, Ottawa.
Next to Iran and crackdowns on protesters after a third straight week of demonstration. Human rights groups say more than 500 have been killed. CTV's Michael Couture has the latest on the situation.
It's a daily struggle. With communications to Iran cut off, Iraj Avahani can't reach his siblings in the northeastern part of the country. Even more concerning, his nieces and nephews have gone missing.
You cannot imagine what's going on, and if the phone, they said, okay, he's dead or he's in the jail. We hope he's in the jail.
The hope is that his brother or sister won't have to visit a makeshift morgue to search for the body. U.S.-based rights group HRANA says it has verified the death of more than 500 protesters.
The repression the regime is using to quell the dissent, to basically stop people from standing up for their basic rights. The repression we're seeing is increasing every year, and I think we're at a breaking point.
Monday, state TV aired footage showing massive crowds at pro-government rallies right across the country. Iranian authorities are accusing both Israel and the U.S. of having a direct role in the political unrest. Iran's foreign minister says his country is ready for talks with the U.S., but is also fully prepared for war. Trump's spokesperson says he's ready to talk while keeping military options on the table.
What you're hearing publicly from the Iranian regime is quite differently from the messages the administration is receiving privately, and I think the president has an interest in exploring those messages.
Meanwhile, back in Ottawa, members of the Iranian-Canadian community can do little but send support.
And all they asking for freedom to choose to how to live, how to wear, what to eat, and what they do in their life.
Prime Minister Mark Carney has condemned the killing of protesters and urged Iran to allow for freedom of expression and peaceful assembly without fear of reprisal. Michael Couture, CTV News, Ottawa.
It could be popping up at your next celebration. Still ahead on CTV News. From weddings to trade shows and birthday parties, we check out Thunderstorm Productions to find out how they're serving up creativity. Canadians are cutting back on eating out, and restaurants are feeling it. A new study suggests thousands of restaurants could close their doors this year. CTV's Travis Fortnum has more.
At Friday's Fish and Chips, the whole restaurant's filled with the delicious smell of fresh fried fish, the sound of fries sizzling in the fryers, but what it's not filled with these days is customers.
We've seen about a 50% decline in the last 3 months.
Owner Steve Crawford says things have been majorly slowing down as folks tighten their budgets more and more, with tough economic times forcing families to cut back on discretionary spending like eating out. He says even he's not dining out as much.
It's tough out here.
Crawford and his patrons aren't struggling alone. A new study out of Dalhousie University projects more than 4,000 restaurants could close across Canada this year, with 7,000 already shutting their doors in 2025.
And what we're seeing right now are consumers under tremendous financial pressure. They're having a hard time buying food at the grocery store, so they're not spending as much time in food service.
And those food costs are going up for restaurants too. So are rent and insurance. Restaurants Canada says 41% of restaurants are operating at a loss or barely breaking even, but are keeping prices low because they know customers are budgeting.
We've cut the profits in order to keep the business going.
Crawford says prices at Fridays have only gone up once in the past 3 years, despite those costs still climbing.
Retirement fund keeps going down. That's where we're at with that.
For Crawford, the strain shows up most clearly during what used to be their busiest hours. He says Friday dinner rushes once meant a packed dining room, a sure sign the night was going to be a good one.
And kidney stones, yeah.
And now, like at its busiest, what is it?
Okay, let's update our top stories with CTV's Alexandra Hollick joining us live in studio. Alexandra, with our top story tonight, a new daytime drop-in space for those experiencing homelessness was actually supposed to open today in Guelph.
That's right, Leanne, but those plans were derailed by construction delays and a failure to reach a formal agreement. The city previously announced it approved a partnership between a pair of local shelters to open the space, and it was estimated the program would cost around $1.7 million to operate. The plans have been scrapped for now, but there are efforts underway to figure out how the city can still open a daytime drop-in space. A Cambridge City Councillor would like to see the fountains at Hespeler and Pine Bush Roads have water running through them again. The fountains were part of the Nob Hill Farm store at that corner before it became a Home Depot back in 2000. Water was briefly turned back on in 2005, but then stopped again. Ward 7 Councillor Scott Hamilton is preparing a motion that, if passed, will ask city staff to look at a potential partnership with Home Depot to get water flowing through the three towers once again.
Okay, and online tonight, our digital team has details about a teenager facing charges in Wellington County.
That's right, Leanne. A 17-year-old girl is facing multiple charges after she allegedly fled from police and rammed two of their cruisers last Friday night. Guelph police say it happened around 10 p.m. during a traffic stop. No injuries were reported by the driver or her three passengers, but officers say the teen was showing signs of impairment. For more information on this story, you can head to our website, ctvnewskitchener.ca. Leanne?
Okay, Alexandra, thanks for that. CTV's Alexandra Hollick live with our top stories tonight. From weddings to trade shows and birthday parties, one Waterloo Region business is proving that popcorn isn't just a movie snack anymore. The local company is popping up at events across the region, serving custom flavors, local ingredients, and a whole lot of creativity. We have more on this week's edition of Made Right Here.
My name is Eric Hushley. I'm the owner of Thunderstorm Productions. We're a DJ company, fun food event rental company. We also have a popcorn factory, and today we're going to be giving you a little tour. We offer about 25 different varieties of popcorn. We do your standard movie theater popcorn. We do kettle corn. All of our kernels are actually grown in Ontario, just outside of Tillsonburg, so we try to keep everything as local as possible. Our caramel corn is world-renowned. People absolutely love it. It's our #1 seller. We also do tons of candy-coated flavors, different colors, different flavors, and a bunch of savory things. So we can do dill pickle, white cheddar, all those types of things. So there's actually two different types of popcorn kernels. Most people don't realize that. What you're going to find in your typical movie theater is what they call butterfly popcorn. So imagine a piece of popcorn with little wings on it. We use that for our kettle corn popcorn and our movie theater. But for all the other popcorn that we use a type called mushroom, which obviously is like a little round ball. The nice thing about that is it allows you to coat the product really evenly without a lot of breakage and a lot of, nobody wants little bits and pieces in their popcorn. So it makes for a much nicer product. Two different ways to make the popcorn. For our kettle corn and our movie theater, we use an oil-based popping. And then for the mushroom style, it's all done in an industrial air popper. So the nice thing about that is it cuts down on the fats, cuts down on the calories and things like that. But the movie theater, it just has that nice flavoring when you use oil. So one of the things that makes us a little bit unique is the customization. So if you have specific logos and specific colors in your product, we can do our best to match those. Also, all of our popcorn goes through a two-stage process to shake out all the little bits, to shake out all the shells of the popcorn and unpopped kernels. It's nice to have a bag full of popcorn that doesn't have all those little bits in the bottom. The front portion of our business, we now call it Eric's Place, and it's an event venue. We've got room for about 90 people for a cocktail type event, or 50 to 60 for like a sit-down catered meal. Full sound lighting system. We've got arcade and pinball machines if you want. So just a really, really fun place located conveniently in Waterloo, a couple minutes away from the expressways, easy to get to, plenty of parking.
The curling champions of Ontario have been crowned. Still ahead on CTV News, we find out who won gold in Elmira this weekend and how the impact of the Bonspiel had on the community. Stay with us. After 8 days and more than 60 draws, the curling champions of Ontario have been crowned. For the men, Team King out of Tillsonburg and the women, Team Armstrong of Whitby, were named champions on the ice in Elmira. And as CTV's Jeff Pickle tells us, there were big wins both on and off the ice.
A great week of curling.
The arena's super nice. Everyone's been really kind. The fans have been fantastic. The curling's been really good. It's been a really great weekend.
And a great week for cowbells. Sunday marked the final of the 8-day Ontario Curling Championship. On the women's side, Team Armstrong from Whitby topped last year's champs, Team Inglis.
I think it's been a 5-game must-win games for the past couple days, so it feels amazing to just come out on top with the win and a strong, solid finish.
Team Armstrong now represents Ontario, the national champion, the Scotties Tournament of Hearts at the end of the month in Mississauga.
I'm excited to go as a skip now, so I'm really excited to get back there. It's nice it'll be in Mississauga for everyone to watch. All of our family can come.
On the men's side, Team King from Tillsonburg took the crown from last year's champions, Team Muabec. Team King now the spot the Briar next month. For Curling Ontario, the week-long tournament, a major success.
8 days of the province's best curling here in Elmira. It's been awesome. Last Sunday we started with 24. We're now down to the top 2. So it's been great crowds, great competition, and really good final day here today.
For the hosts, Elmira Curling Club, it's an opportunity to grow the game.
It's been a resounding success. We've had some excellent curling. We've had very good audience attendance. So, yeah, on the whole, we're very happy with how the week went.
And they hope get the next generation of curling fan into the game. Jeff Pickle, CTV News, Elmira.
We have more news coming up. First, let's check in with Karis.
Well, as I mentioned earlier, there's some rain and snow in the forecast for tomorrow, but if you're interested in knowing what the weather's going to look like first thing when you wake up, stay tuned. Wake Up Weather is next.
Tonight, growing worry for Iranian-Canadian families.
You cannot imagine what's going on.
The persistent protests and the regime's response to U.S. military threats. Later on CTV National News and watch on Crave after the NFL game. 105.3 Virgin Radio is KW's #1 hit music station. Home of Jeff, KP, and Backstage Ben in the morning. Listen to 105.3 Virgin Radio everywhere with the iHeartRadio app.
Okay, let's check back in with Alexandra for a look at what our team is working on as we head into the evening. Alexandra.
Leanne, we're keeping an eye on Kitchener City Council tonight. Back on the agenda is a bylaw amendment application for a proposed high-rise development on Cortlandt Avenue after it was deferred last week due to concerns around the region of Waterloo's water supply. Plus, the Wilfrid Laurier University basketball team is raising funds for cancer research. CTV's Colton Weens will have that story, and we'll have more news tonight at 11:30. Leanne.
Okay, lots on the go this Monday evening. Alexandra, thanks so much. And we will take one last check on the forecast. Karis, how is tomorrow looking? I know you said precipitation's on the way.
I did say, but Leanne, just kind of going off what we saw today. So all I said this whole hour was clouds, clouds, clouds. So let's take a look at our wake-up weather and give you 3 guesses as to what
clouds, clouds, and more clouds.
First thing in the morning. Yep. So at 6 a.m. actually we got some clouds with some scattered clear breaks. So something to change it up a little bit. -2, mainly cloudy. By 8 a.m. still cloudy. -1, and then it's slowly getting warmer by 10 a.m. Still cloudy, but hitting 0. So not too bad. The precipitation will hit in the afternoon.
Okay, well, I'm back on my early morning wake-up routine, so I'll be up for the dry conditions.
Good for you. Couldn't be me, but I love that for you. And you can expect some clouds. You can do whatever that looks like for you in the morning because I'll be asleep still.
Got to get it all in before that precipitation moves in. But you enjoy your rest. Okay, finally for us tonight, one of the world's most active volcanoes is putting on a show once again. Lava was visible inside the Kilauea volcano on the Big Island of Hawaii late last night into early this morning. It's the central feature of Hawaii Volcanoes National Park.
Absolutely. The crater that formed when the Kilauea collapsed is nearly 3 miles long and 2 miles wide and has an area of more than 4 square miles. The volcano has been experienced on and off eruptions since late 2024.
Yeah, always some very incredible visuals that come out of this when we see these images from Hawaii. It almost doesn't seem real looking at this volcano eruption.
It would be so cool to see live, but then it kind of hits me like, oh yeah, that's hot, that's active lava. Like you do not want to be close to that, but what a stunning photo.
Stunning images, for sure. All right, that's it for us. Alexandra Hollick has your next local news at 11:30. We're back here tomorrow at 5 and 6. Have a good night.